Chloe, otherwise known as Princess Aspian, and welcome to my channel. So, today, it's not just me, as you can tell. There's another person next to me who you've probably seen on my channel twice before, 3 times. Next to me, I have got...
Sam Humphrey.
Hey!
For those of you that don't know me, I'm obviously from Greatest Showman.
Obviously.
Tom Thumb. I'm short. That's obvious. Well, I know it's obvious now because I'm on my knees, but
No, it's obvious. Obviously, anyone who knows my channel, who has watched my channel, that has seen any videos of me not crying over One Direction. I'm autistic, have been for a long time now, and Sam has acrodysplasia. Did I pronounce that right?
Yes. Yes.
Do you know? A lot of disabilities are obvious. You see someone and go, okay, they're disabled. A lot of disabilities, though, which are ones that people seem to not understand and not know about as much, are invisible disabilities, which would be Asperger's, autism, cystic fibrosis, OCD, schizophrenia, things that are not physically able to be seen, but are still just as valid, just as important, just as there, just as present. They're there, right? Present as your more visible disabilities. So something I thought would be fun today is, because obviously we both have disabilities, I hate that word. Yeah. Different abilities.
As you say, we're different, not less.
We're different, not less. You are different and less. You're like different and a half. If you're looking for political correctness, go somewhere else. So obviously, because I have got an invisible disability and Sam has got a visible disability, I thought it'd be fun to kind of discuss that and kind of talk about the stigmas and the different expectations and stereotypes of what both of them are. Alright, let's go into it. Alright, what's something that an able-bodied person assumes about you?
Something an able-bodied person would assume about me when they first see me is that I'm a child, obviously, because I'm only like 4 foot tall. They think I'm like 5 years old.
I've been with you before.
Yep.
When we went to the hotel together in Sydney for the Greatest Showman thing, and the guy was like instantly turned to me and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. He's the one in charge.
They assume that I'm not very capable.
Right, yeah, so everything that people assume about you is assumed because of your physical appearance.
Yeah, because of my height and the way I look.
A lot of people that are small, they look like adults. You can tell straight away they're adults. You look young.
It's only when you actually get to know me and start talking to me that you can actually see my intelligence and see that I'm definitely capable of having a conversation and keeping a conversation.
Or if you smack up saying, hi, I'm 25, not 5.
That works too. That works. Maybe I should start doing that more.
Just start wearing shirts to say, I'm a grown man. I'm probably older than you. Yeah, so your one is definitely a lot more physical based.
Right.
Whereas I guess autism and mine would be the stigmas that go with autism. When people meet me, a lot of the times they don't know that I'm autistic.
Right.
Like, because it's not, you know, I don't have like a big sign on my head that says she's autistic.
I will say, when I first met you, like everyone, I was questioning what disability you had when we were doing Jeremy the Dog.
I actually just have a 3rd leg just hanging out.
When we were doing Jeremy the Dog, everyone was disabled except for Jeremy.
Yeah, you're like...
I'm like, they're disabled, they're disabled, they're disabled, I'm disabled. Where's she at?
When I do tell them, then that's when the stigmas start coming. And it's either like, why isn't she flapping your hands? Why, you know, like, why isn't she your typical autistic, but like Rain Man, like all the kind of typical autistic people that you see? Or why aren't you like a savant? Why aren't you insanely smart? Why can't you play Mozart when you were like 2 years old? Like all these like crazy things, which I'm like, dude, chill. I think a lot of people assume automatically because I'm autistic, there's either lots of things that I'm completely incapable of or lots of things that I should be crazy incredible at, like all the savants and stuff, which I'm not, because I'm not a savant, I'm autistic. They're very different things, but that's for another video. As far as you go, it's all more physical things. Right. And as far as I go, it's more the stigma of what people believe autism is. Stigma.
Well, I suppose it is still saying, like, I mean, that I am a kid, that I'm not capable, and a lot of people, even my own parents, like, obviously when I was a lot younger, not 25 years old, was always very scared about letting me go out into the world. Yeah. So it wasn't until I was about 16 years old that my mother let me ride the bus for the first time. On my own.
Same.
Actually, when we were going to film Jeremy the Dog, I was with our director Ryan, going to the hotel, literally, and I had my suitcase with me, and this guy was passing us, and he goes, "Come on, you little buddy, where are you off to?" I'm like, oh my goodness. I mean, sometimes, like, you just have to laugh at it, because it is funny.
And it's gonna happen. So it's like, I can't change the world, so let me just laugh at it instead. Obviously, everyone knows I'm obsessed with concert. I go to, like, I'll have a concert of someone I've never heard before and be like, heck yeah, let's go! Just because I'm obsessed with the crowd of it. I'm obsessed with, like, the people there. I'm obsessed with, like, the vibes that concerts have. Like, it's my favorite thing ever. and people automatically assume that she's not autistic. You can't be autistic. Autistic people don't like going out. Autistic people are hermits. Autistic people, and you know what? If you're an autistic person that is a hermit and you're an autistic person that doesn't like going out, that's fine. Like that's like, do you, boo? You can't be autistic because you like talking to people. I'm like, that's not how it works. That's not how any of this works. I've got videos on my channel where I talk about stigmas and I talk about the things that, like, here's what everyone thinks autistic people are like, and it's just not the truth, you know? People's reactions to you.
A lot of people stare. Although now I tend to not know why. It could be because
Here's a hint. It's because you're short.
Because I was short, I was a kid. They don't...
I guess they'd stare, especially if you're in public by yourself, because they'd be like, not only is it short, but it's a short kid.
I mean, that does go back to the stigma. Like, you know, they think I'm a kid. I can't be out going shopping by myself. When I pull out my wallet and I'm the one paying, it gets it's so funny. I gotta pull out my wallet at restaurants to pay, or I gotta order my own meal, and people are like, is the kid paying?
What about, do you drink?
I do drink.
So what, like, when people see you, like, having a beer or whatever it is that you drink, are they, like, shocked?
Totally shocked. Actually, when I go to reach for a glass of wine or beer or whatever, they're like, they like, kind of get taken back. They pull back and they're like, I'm not, like, am I supposed to give it to them?
Right. When people see me, I've always been that weird kid. I've always been that quirky kid. People's initial reactions to me has always been like, oh, she's different, whether they know I'm autistic or not. Then when I'm like, oh, I'm autistic, they're like, oh my god, are you okay?
So do they treat you slow, like
they treat me like I'm an idiot sometimes.
Right, okay.
People's reactions to finding out that when I say I'm autistic, people's reactions to that are usually like, what? That's crazy, like that's insane. Usually they, first of all, are surprised. Second of all, treat me like an entire different person, even if we've been friends for ages.
I think people in general don't know how to handle, like, especially for like with you, if they find out you then have autism, they don't know how to react to it.
Don't treat someone differently just because they tell you something about themselves. The negative things of having a visible disability compared to having an invisible disability. People see you and they see the disability before they see the person.
Right.
So they automatically go, oh, he's a dwarf, oh, he's a midget, oh, he's whatever. They see the disability, not you. And that sucks because it's harder to get you across.
Because they go into it with the expectations that they already expect. So
yeah, exactly. So they go, here's what I think about people like this. Whereas with me, people automatically assume I'm like normal or like, you know, not whatever, which can be just as hurtful in a way, because when I do have moments where, you know, autistic moments where I'm like, I'm having a meltdown, I need to stim, I need to do this, I'm doing an autistic thing, people are like, whoa, what are you, that's weird, what are you doing, what's going on? I've had a couple of times on trains and stuff when I had my concession markie, so like the markie that you have if you're a kid or if you have a disability on the healthcare card or whatever, and I had my concession markie. And if you were in this situation, you had your concession markie, they'd be like, okay, obvious, yeah, all right, done, move on. I had my concession markie, and they were like, sorry, babe.
Yeah.
Where's your real one? And I was like, oh no, this is my real one. Like this is, and then like, oh, prove it. And I was like, do you want me to get my doctor's certificate? Do you want me to like call my psychologist and be like, hey, yeah, she's autistic? I was so scared that I went mute. If I had the sort of disability that people could see, they'd be like, oh, okay. Because I looked normal, they were like, oh, she's hiding something. Oh, she's doing something wrong. Oh, she definitely has the wrong card. Because I was acting the way that I act, they automatically saw that as red flags. Which a lot of autistic people and a lot of people that have hidden disabilities that affects the way that they act. That's why so many people on the media get like, oh, autistic person does this. They didn't do it on purpose. They were acting that way because they were scared. And I got told that I was going to go to jail. Like that guy literally, I was 19 and I was so scared I was mute and they told me you're going to jail.
Extreme.
It's so extreme. I'm like,
extreme.
It's like, but that, it happens all the time. Yeah. I've heard it happen to so many people because our disabilities are invisible and people automatically assume, oh, you're doing something bad. Oh, you're a bad person. Oh, you're hiding something, you know? Yeah. Which isn't true.
People are more accepting when they can already see that you have a disability. They're more accepting. People need
to see things to believe them.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that sucks because it's harder for you to get you across and it's harder for me to get my things that I need help with across.
I mean, there are a lot of times that people try to help me, and because I've always had that, like most of my life, being young, being short, people tried to help me. I tried to have my own independence, and so which has led me to in all honesty, do some pretty stupid and dangerous stuff. Trying to be independent, which includes climbing up, grocery store shelves to grab stuff on the tallest shelf. But by the way, all the cheap stuff is always on the top shelf, which I think is very unfair.
Well, there you go. That's another one of your struggles, though. And obviously this isn't the same for all people that have a physical disability, but it would be for a lot, is that the world isn't catered for people that have a visible disability.
Right.
But the world also isn't catered for people that have invisible disability. The world just isn't freaking catered for us anyway, right, man?
Just change.
Oh, you guys, what are the positives of having a visible disability? You don't have to explain yourself. Like, it's like, here I am. The positives for having an invisible disability, I guess, people don't judge you and don't stigmatize you straight away.
Expectations on you straight away. Like, they walk up to you, they treat you normally, which, I mean, can be a bad thing as well, but they treat you normally, and it's only when they find out that they unfortunately start treating you differently.
And I guess the positive as well, which is sucky for you, is that I don't get stigmatized.
Right.
In that same way. Like when people first meet me, because you can't tell on the surface that there's anything going on, I don't get stigmatized straight away. I won't get baby talked to on the street. People don't automatically go out of the way to try and help me in ways that are actually quite belittling and babying. How does visible versus invisible disabilities affect your life?
In terms of, like, for example, work, there's
work is a big one.
There's a lot of things I can and can't do for work, so it does limit my field a bit. I mean, but then at the same time, it is about, like, what people assume you can and can't do. Nowadays, the workplace is getting more
open to
people with disability. Obviously, there's a lot of jobs that I couldn't do. Like, I can't do manual labor. Unfortunately, I also can't really do jobs that require much of an authoritative presence, because unfortunately, looking like a kid.
Yeah, of course. So obviously affecting your life in that way, meaning that people are not going to respect you necessarily as much because of your height, and that's the same as a lot of people that have visible disabilities, like are in wheelchair or amputees, have Down syndrome. People don't respect them because they see the disability, not the person. Whereas someone who has an invisible disability, they're automatically considered part of society. They're automatically considered you're normal, you're one of us, whatever. Yeah. But then when something happens and like, oh, like I need this moment, like, oh, like I'm stimming, or like I'm having a meltdown, I can't go to work today because I'm in sensory overload, whatever it is, they go, hang on, you're normal.
They find it very hard to accept, like, the fact that you then need the time off work.
Exactly.
And they're like, oh, well, if you don't come into work today because you're normal, then, like, you're fired or whatever. Like, they put a lot of
different expectations.
Yeah, a lot of different
I think we both have very different expectations, but both expectations that we can't meet or don't need to meet. How do you both deal with being stared at in public or acting differently in public?
That's a good question.
Ignore it?
Well, I do tend to ignore it. When I was younger, a lot of people used to come up and, ask me, how old are you? The typical spiel, and, I would say I'm this age and I have such and such disability and blah, 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 blah. I said it over and over again till I just couldn't be bothered saying it anymore. And then my friends would start to say it. And then eventually they didn't even want to say it because it just got too
Right, so it just
much.
gets tiring. So the way that you would deal with people staring at you is explaining it as much as you can be bothered, and then just dealing with it. If I'm having a day which is just like a yuck day and I'm like, I need like my weighted blanket, or I have like my noise cancelling headphones or something, like when I went to uni, quite often had like a weighted blanket and my noise cancelling headphones, and I wouldn't wear certain textures and stuff because they hurt, then people would stare. Right. But I think it would be a different type of stare because people look at me like, she looks normal, what's going on? So the way I deal with it is cry. Don't be mean to people. We need to break the stigma of, oh, you're weird because you look at this. Oh, you're weird because you're doing this. Oh, you're weird because this is how you're acting. Everyone's a freaking oddball, right? Everyone is an oddball. Stop blaming me for being more of an oddball. When you get outcast and selected out for your different, whether it's something that is physical that you can't change, or whether it's something that is mental that you need to help cope, and then you get stared at it sucks and it's not fun, regardless of if it's something that you can and can't control. Accessibility needs.
Accessibility needs. Okay. A lot of my accessibility needs are more about things being at my level.
Yes, of course, yeah.
Just going to the men's room, like, and the sinks or whatever are at, like, the average male height. And just to try and grab a hand towel, I'm usually like on my tippy toes, and even then I still can't grab a hand towel. Like in my house, like my family have always have to like put plates and cups down at a bottom cupboard, or they have to arrange the house, like, you know, like the kitchen, so that I can access things every day. And like that's something that a lot of people don't think about. And like just going out shopping, I think like in shopping centers and in stores, especially grocery stores, they should have more of those, you know, those rolling around step stools.
For sure.
Because whenever I see one of those in the aisle, I'm always like, I'm just going to quickly run over and grab that and use it. But like, there's not, usually those are only for employees, but I'm like, you know, whatever, if it's there, I'm going to grab it and use it.
Yeah. But, so accessibility, as far as it is for you, is everything. Like your whole life is altered because it's not made for people like your height. And I guess for other disabilities that are visible, it would be ramps instead of steps, because I have a lot of friends that either are amputees or have wheelchairs or whatever, and they like, I've gone like, hey, I have like this really cool cafe, let's go, and they'll be like, I'll walk up and they're like, I can't go in there, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe I didn't notice this before. Until you're actually in that world, you don't understand how minimized it is and how little they can do because of the world that we live in not being catered for them.
I know to a lot of people it might seem like a moot point, but when you're experiencing it every single day, like I wake up and like say I want to get a cup down, just get a cup down. Like if it's up in a torn cupboard, I have to go grab a chair, I have to pull it over, I have to grab it down, I have to, you know, close the cupboards, which are very awkward. Still, I have to climb back down, I have to put the chair away. Like, you know, something that takes other people like 2 minutes takes me like 10 minutes.
Yeah. Autism-wise, I guess, more sensory spaces. I know a lot of workplaces now are starting to do like sensory rooms and sensory spaces in like quiet areas. Things like hand dryers in public bathrooms, they're like crazy loud, and I know that a lot of autistic children like cannot handle that. And look, it's hard because a lot of the needs that I have are very different to the needs that an able-bodied person has. So like you can't go, let's turn off all hand dryers, you know. Same, I guess, like it would be hard going like, okay, well, we need to have everything at a level which you can reach, because that's not going to work for people that it's our world isn't made at the moment for everyone, and it sucks. And it is, I mean, it is becoming more accessible. There are more ramps, there are more spaces or whatever that you can reach that people that have physical disabilities are able to do. There are more sensory spaces and stuff, but overall it's still not where it needs to be, and there's still so much more that the world can do as a society to help people.
I think there's a lot more that it can do in terms of like doing things physically to help people fit in, but then also just in general sense of awareness, because a lot of people aren't even aware of, you know, what people with, you know, disabilities are going through. And so because there's that lack of awareness, then, you know, they don't know how to change the environment to people that are experiencing these issues.
For sure. I think that's everything. Just as a little forewarning, we obviously haven't got every single disability in the world, so we're not going to be able to speak personally for every single person that has got a disability. If we've said something in this which you completely don't relate to or completely don't agree with, that's fine. This is just our personal experience and our personal stories. But if there's something else that you're going through, or there's something else that you feel like needs to be changed that we didn't address, it's just because we don't personally experience that, or because there's not enough time in a single YouTube video to discuss every single thing that we need to, you know, that needs to be spoken about. But if you guys did like it and you guys want to see another one like this and you want to hear more about it, let us know. And we can do another one the next time Sam's back, because
hit us up.
Let us know. If you guys have disabilities, either invisible or visible, let me know in the comments down below what sort of things you go through and what sort of things you experience on a stigma level, on a how people react to you level, that sort of thing. If you guys did like this video, make sure to let me know by liking, commenting, subscribing. I don't mind. Do whatever makes you happy. Do whatever makes you feel good. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.
Bye, guys.